Okay. So I'm really, really, really excited to see the play. I have a little date. His name is James. I've been babysitting him since I was like 10 years old, but so he's my date for tomorrow night, and I'm
Nice.
very excited. Um, what's your favorite part about the play, or the musical, I guess?
Yes. Well, I think the great thing about it is that it's just it's very fun. It's incredibly energetic.
Hmm.
It's touching, but funny and silly, and little kids just eat it up. They just love it. And the most fun for me is watching the kids
Hmm.
watch the show, because that's pretty exciting when you're able to, as a group of people, come together and create something that so many little kids really enjoy, and really have such a great time. And in this day and age of television and movies, they tend to sort of gloss over a lot of times when they see something live, not really understanding or being taught yet, or getting the instructions of how it's okay to react in a live performance, and being used to being shushed and told to keep it down. But we really want kids to participate and to laugh and to clap and to say, no, that wasn't a good idea, and to get them involved and participate. It's really very rewarding when that happens.
Yeah, when I was out there in the foyer, I guess, all the
Yes.
little kids were, singing little songs that from here, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever seen. So I'm really, really excited to see it. I used to read the book when I was growing up, so I'm excited to see the performance of it. I think it's really cool that it's been turned into a musical. This is the
Yes.
second time you've done this, correct?
This is actually the third
Oh, the
time
third
we've
time.
done it.
Okay.
We did it in 2001 and in 2002, and I was the co-director and choreographer, co-directing with Jeff Church, the artistic director of the Coterie, and now it's been given to me just as
It's your
my own
baby.
little baby, and it's very, very dear to my heart. It's actually very beloved by all of the Coterie staff, and a lot of the Coterie audience who remembers it from before. I was in the first two productions as well, so that's it's interesting for me to sort of be outside of it now, and not also be involved in it. I think I've been able to come at it 8 years later with a different perspective, and certainly being able to have a 100% complete outside view
Right.
has been really telling about some changes, and some new choreography things that I think have hopefully improved it, or if not improved it, at least made it fresh and new again, and something that people who have seen it before. Somebody the other day said, well, I saw it the first time, and I said, well, I think it would be worth giving it another look, because now it's a whole different show with a whole different cast and a whole different energy. I think if you've seen it before, you would want to see it again.
Is that kind of why you're doing it for a third time, because people in the past want to see it again?
Yeah, definitely. As being one of the most treasured shows of the Coterie, it'll now be on a 3-year rotation at Christmas time with 2 other shows.
Okay.
Little House on the Prairie and Seussical.
Oh, fun.
So 3 of the top shows of the Coterie sort of trading places at Christmas time, and letting everybody have the opportunity as they're growing up to see this great story, which it was one of my favorite books when I was growing up, and Judith Viorst, who wrote the book, also wrote the book and the lyrics for
Right.
the play. So when that happens, when the person who actually writes the book also writes the play, then you have a real connection with the book, which a lot of times adaptions by other people don't do. So I think that's what makes this particularly special and different from a lot of plays that are adapted, is that this was her son. It was a story that was written about her son, and so she has the real insider scoop on how to make it work as a play and a musical, as well as it being a top-selling book even today. It was written in 1972, so
Right.
that the story is still prevalent and just as pertinent in 2010 as it was in 1972. That's pretty rare and amazing.
And for the years on, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Everybody has a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day.
So what is one of your terrible, horrible, no good, very bad days?
Oh. Well, I'm 42. I'm sorry, I'm 43. That's just how terrible, horrible, no good it has been.
What about when you were a kid? Would you really identify with that when you were a child as to now?
Oh, sure. I mean, who can't? Anything can make you have a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day when you're a kid. The smallest things. One of my worst days when I was a kid was when my mom was a single mom and she hadn't had time to do all of the laundry, and I had to go to school wearing a pink dress, and she put braids in my hair. There was nothing that I hated more. The two things I hated the most were dresses and braids, and I had to do both of them on the same day.
Double whammy.
Just mortified.
So are you producing or directing any more plays at the Coterie or around the city?
I won't be directing any plays for a while. I got a new job with Epic Entertainment as the new event coordinator, and I'm going to spend the next year really focusing on that job and that career, and hopefully in another year or so I'll come back and direct maybe one show a year.
Mm-hmm. Do you miss
that lucky theater out there?
Do you miss being an actress?
Oh, no.
No,
I had a great run this last year of doing some fabulous roles in Bear and in Pride and Joy, Kimberly Akimbo, and Dixie Swim Club, and it was really fun to get back into it after 5 or 6 years, and I'm also very excited not to do it anymore.
Kind of seeing things from a different perspective.
It's a lot of work to be an actor. People don't know. It's a large commitment of every single, if you're doing evening shows every single night, every single weekend, long hours, and a lot of stress and energy goes into that. So giving up after owning a bar for 5 years and not having evenings and weekends to myself, and then as an actor not having evenings and weekends to myself, I really much am starting to prefer the day job. The dreaded day job that I always thought, oh, I never want that. I like that. I like you day job people. I think it was a good idea what you did.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any advice to any aspiring actors out there?
Oh, I think definitely if you are interested and you have an affinity for it and it's something that you want to do, you should pursue it.
Mm-hmm.
That is to say with anything that a young person is interested in, just really commit to that, put everything you have, work really, really hard, and you can accomplish anything if you put your mind to it. And I think it's really important for you to have that confidence to know that you can do that. If it's something that you really believe in, if it's your dream, you should definitely go after it.
Good advice. When did you start getting into acting?
Oh, as a very small kid, I went to 7 different elementary schools, so I think you either become an introvert or an extrovert,
Mm-hmm.
and I went the extrovert direction and trying to meet new friends, and every school I'd take on a new persona. I was known as a different person. At 1 second grade, I was from outer space, and I would go to the jungle gym every recess and stand in the middle of the big dome jungle
Mm-hmm.
gym and call my mothership and talk to the captain. So that was probably my best one.
I like that. Do you have any, I guess for the Kansas City audience and for the Kansas City actors, what kind of direction do you think they're going in?
Oh, I think it's a very, very vibrant theater scene here in Kansas City. We're one of the top 3 per capita in the country as far as theater communities are concerned, and that's really a huge deal for it to be Kansas City in the middle of the country in the Midwest. We have so many new theater companies starting out, and I remember when Ron McGee and I weren't getting cast when we were young in our 20s, and we said, we're just going to start our own company and do our own thing. And it was really rare then for people as young 20-something artists to think, I can produce my own stuff, and now it's happening all over the city. So I think that's incredibly exciting. Don't wait for someone to hand you an opportunity. Don't assume that that will happen. Make your own opportunities, and you'll find that you'll grow as an artist. You'll find that maybe you are a writer or a producer, or maybe you're a young director and you didn't even know that that might be a direction that you wanted. But when you take the time to say, I'm going to explore this on my own, I'm not going to wait for somebody to do it for me, you find that you can really accomplish some pretty amazing things.
Good. Well, this is about to die, so I'm going to turn it off.